Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies. And you know they are really groovy. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies. And we know they are really groovy.
Hello, and welcome to Two Guys and a Gal. Throughout history, few characters have captivated audiences quite like the legendary Robin Hood. There he is. Look, he's a very merry fellow. He's a symbol of rebellion, justice, and the fight against tyranny. He's an iconic figure who has been brought to life on the silver screen time and time again by so many different performers. In these timeless tales, we find ourselves drawn to the charismatic outlaw who defies the odds and stands up for the common folk against corrupt powers. That's right, he steals from the rich and he gives to the poor. Very apropos for a lot of the things going on in this world today. So, Rory and Manny have handpicked their favorite cinematic depictions of this folk hero. And we're going to explore how these movies capture the essence of his legacy, the thrilling action, and the unforgettable characters that keep us coming back for more. All right, so Manny Zamora is here, Rory eating the popcorn is here, and Robin Hood is here. So here we go, and this is such a great character for this time in the world, don't you think?
Robin Hood is here?
Yeah, look, he's right there. See? You see him. He's like blowing his horn like a very mellow, very merry fellow.
Okay.
He's calling his men to arms.
Yes. Oh, Rory can't see the graphic. So that's right.
Yeah.
He can't see the graphic. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. But we see the graphic and it's Robin Hood. Yes.
Yes.
I got a big old bag of popcorn.
And he's
there. That's what matters. That's what we care about for sure.
That's all that matters.
Thank you very much. Yes. All right, Manny, do you want to start us off?
Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men.
That's Davis Moore, isn't
it? Well, that's the Monty Python version.
I want your lupins.
I'm sorry?
I want your lupins.
That's right. So that was the theme to Robin Hood, the TV show back from the 50s. Done in my inimitable way, but yeah, this is the hero. He's an outlaw, but he's a hero. He's a legend. We don't really know if he actually existed. The character may be an amalgam of different people who may have existed during that time of King Richard and King John and all those people. So that's why we get so many different interpretations of this character, and over the years, both obviously in print, and he's been a favorite subject, as we shall see, in the cinema, in movies, because the story lends itself to different interpretations, and of course, you know, there's swashbuckling, sword fighting and saving damsels in distress and all that good stuff. So of course that makes for good theater. So anyway, so that's my little introduction to Robin Hood. Rory, what do you think about that?
Well, there are many different good interpretations. They all kind of run together, and I mean, it's always Robin of Locksley, usually, 9 out of 10 times. Little John, Friar Tuck, Alan a Dale. I mean, there's again, they vary a little bit between film to film, which we're going to talk about, and it's the ones that really kind of go off the rails that are kind of interesting. But we'll talk about those when we get to them. So go ahead and give us your first one.
All right. So so I was telling Renee earlier, so I handed her my list, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, now I'm going to change some stuff around.
All right.
So my number one is now Robin Hood from 2010, starring Russell Crowe.
Okay.
And this is a Ridley Scott film.
Gladiator Robin Hood.
He's Gladiator Robin Hood. In fact, there's a scene towards the end of the movie where I really was expecting him to say, "And prepare to unleash hell," but he didn't, and I'm kind of glad he didn't. That would have been a little too meta, but yeah, it is a little bit of kind of a gladiator type thing. It's big, it's spectacle, it's everything you expect from a Ridley Scott film.
It is one of the biggest spectacle Robin Hoods there is.
Yeah, and
they put a lot of money in the film.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed this film. I like his interpretation of the story, Scott's interpretation, and the writers obviously. I like Crowe's performance in this as Robin Hood, as this kind of war-weary soldier. You know, he's pretty much had his fill of fighting, and you know, he went off on the Crusades with King Richard and all that, and of course things are going to heck in a handcart, hell in a handcart back home with the rise of King John, and you know, and there's a character played by Mark. This is a great cast, by the way, in this movie. Besides Russell Crowe, we've got Kate Blanchett playing a very feisty Maid Mary, and I loved her version of it.
Yeah.
The late William Hurt, Oscar Isaac, who I know is not one of your favorite actors, as King John, and Marcus Strong. Who?
Oscar Isaac's not one of my favorite actors.
Oh, I thought you said he wasn't one of your favorites.
No, I like Oscar Isaac.
Okay. Or maybe it was no, you're right. It was the character he was playing. He was playing Gauguin in that you didn't think he was.
I just said he wasn't as good as Anthony Quinn. Nobody can be Anthony Quinn as Gauguin.
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
Over him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry for misinterpreting what you were saying. Anyway, so must use lips and tongue. Oscar Isaac plays King John. William Hurt. There's a Max von Sydow is in this movie, and Mark Strong, who's another great actor who plays a lot of really cool villains. He plays a man named Godfrey, who's really the instigator. He's the main villain of the story. He's usually the sheriff of Nottingham, although he's in it as well. But in this case, it's this guy named Godfrey who is conspiring with those dastardly French to take over England. And it's just a spectacular movie. Lots of action. If you like your Robin Hood movies filled with action and sword fighting and arrows and all that good stuff, this is the movie for you. I'm not sure how historically accurate this movie is, or any of the Robin Hood movies are, but there's a scene at the end, the big climatic battle at the end is almost a recreation of the Normandy invasion, only in reverse, with the French attacking England's a beach in England, but they even have the landing craft with the doors that fall open and all this stuff. So I'm like, is that even possible back then? But who knows? It's still a great scene. It's still, you just gotta check out and go, okay, it's a big action scene.
He thinks they took some liberties.
Maybe took some liberties with history, but it's a fun ride, and so it jumped up to number one after I watched it again. So that's my number one.
Okay, I'm going to stay with my list.
Well, fine then.
Bounce around. Growing up as a kid, Errol Flynn was always Robin Hood to me. That and Captain Blood. Those were two great movies back in the day. And I honestly, in my opinion, they have never topped the original Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn and Eugene Pallette, who's a great friar tuck. He's probably the best friar tuck ever. Although in your version, what is his name? Mark Addy.
Mark Addy.
Is a great actor. I mean, he's a great character actor. I loved him as Fred Flintstone in Viva Rock Vegas.
Yeah.
I loved him on the not Blackadder, the police show, the thin blue line or something. I can't remember the Rowan Atkinson police show.
Yeah. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. He's a good actor. He always gives a performance.
Yeah.
And I believe he's at the beginning in the first season with Sean Bean of the Dragon thing.
Game of Thrones. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a great working actor.
Like the king who died.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's always good in what he does. But Eugene Platt, that was such an interesting version of that character, that growly voice. You've got Alan Hale as Little John. You've got Claude Rains as Prince John. Just a great cast.
Yeah. And Basil Rathbone.
And Basil Rathbone. The color in that film is just amazing especially for its time. Now, after that one, I was like, oh, geez, what am I going to do for number 2, 3, and 4? Geez, and 5. Because that's the definitive Robin Hood to me. And then I stumbled across one this week that I did not know existed. And it's damn good. I mean, it's close. Darn close. When I was a kid growing up, I always thought 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was the first live-action Disney film. And then I found out Treasure Island was the first.
Yeah.
Me hearties.
Yeah.
And between those two, Disney released a live-action version called The Story of Robin Hood and His Merry Men. And it's really, really good. All the way around. Richard Todd plays Robin Hood in it. A lot of the other people, I don't know their names. You kind of recognize them as actors at that time. And again, it was a British movie, I guess, at the time, and they got a distribution deal through Disney. So if you haven't seen The Story of Robin Hood and His Merry Men, it's a really good version. It really is very good. And the love story between Marion and Robin is very cool in that film. Because she's kind of snarky at first.
Yeah.
And Robin wins her over. And, by the end of the movie, she's jumping all over him. It's great.
I love a snarky Marion.
I'm not keen on the snarky Marions, I don't want her to be subservient, but, I want her to be able to pull her own, but I don't like when they go too far. It's just like feminist Marion,
Feminist Marion. Right, yeah.
So, and
so that's your number 2?
That's my number 2.
Okay. Well, as it happens, my number 2, which was my number 1 until the other movie kind of got in the way, is The Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn. And you're right. This is just an awesome movie. Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland as Maid Marian. And
ingrained in our brain.
I'm sorry?
It's ingrained in our brain.
Yeah. It is iconic. It is the iconic Robin Hood movie. So much so that there was a parody, a spoof of it made, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, later on.
Yes.
I think everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, and
there's 2 parodies, one that worked and one that didn't.
Yeah. But the standout performance, besides Errol Flynn, the standout performance for me is, as I said, Basil Rathbone as Sir Guy or Sir Guy. I mean, such just oozes villainy as and in this and again in this one, the sheriff of Nottingham is sort of relegated to a secondary character. He's not even, he's kind of cowardly and kind of, out of his depth. But yeah, it's a great story. And talking about the conflict between the Normans and the Saxons at the time, and it has all the elements. It has all the elements that you look for in the. And yeah, you're right about the color. Holy cow! Kind of missed that. I kind of missed those Technicolor days where the colors were just saturated and bright and just gorgeous. I mean, this was the epitome of a Hollywood movie. So
Well,
yeah.
it was 1938. So again, they were just experimenting with color, with Wizard of Oz in 37 and Gone with the Wind in 37. So yeah, they were just kind of getting their handle on it. And again, the color in that was just outstanding. And like you said, it kind of it was like art. It was like a painting, I mean, and I'm not sure if that's how they did it. If it was like a hand painted each frame, I'm not sure, but it just definitely had a kind of an artistic look to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The way the colors jump off the screen at you.
Yeah. And just beautifully photographed.
Yeah.
I don't know all the technical, who the cinematographer on this movie, or I'm trying to remember who the director was, but beautifully framed shots. The final sword fight between Robin Hood and Sir Guy, rather. I keep wanting to give it a French name. And there's a scene where they're just fighting around, and then all you see is their silhouette against this pillar, and they're just going after it, and then they come back around, and stuff like that. And of course, you've got Errol Flynn's athleticism. The man doing a lot of his own stunts. Really channeling Douglas Fairbanks, who did the one of the earliest of the Robin Hood movies back in 22.
If not the first one, yeah, 1922.
Not the very first one, yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to see that one.
I skimmed through it, and it's definitely it's a very grandiose. I mean, the sets and everything, and they pulled out all the stops for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The problem is Fairbanks, for me, again, skimming through it, Fairbanks doesn't have a lot of time on screen in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2 hour and 12 minute. I think it's 2 hours and 12 minutes. Yeah. Just over 2 hours and 12 minute silent film.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can see it, I believe, on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. You can find it.
Okay. Yeah.
And it gets really good when he starts doing the acrobatic stuff that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping around on castles and things like that. That's what he does. That's what but Douglas Fairbanks was known for.
Mm-hmm.
It's the top of my list of honorable mentions because it was the first.
Okay. Right. So what was your number 3?
Well, I'm going to ask you what your number 3 was because you're supposed to go first.
Oh, okay. All right. Bye.
I'm sorry, I flipped over and.
Oh, no problem. No problem. All right. Well, my number 3, even though it's not my favorite Robin Hood, it's still a good movie, and that's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, with Kevin Costner. But what makes this movie for me is Morgan Freeman and Alan Richman. Those two characters really, they're the ones who really bring this movie to life. Costner, he's okay. I still cringe a little that he didn't really have the British accent down, which I know, and I know some people say, "Oh, that's such a very, it's a, he's still a good Robin Hood," but I don't know. To me, if you're going to play an
Just
English
the word out
character,
of my mind.
yeah, if you're going to play an English character, try to do, I mean, sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail. Keanu Reeves, but I mean, and I know we dump on Keanu for Dracula, but at least he tried. Didn't quite make it, but at least he tried. Costner, I don't feel like he kind of started and then was like, nah, screw it, I'm just gonna be surfer Robin. But otherwise, I thought it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it the first time I saw it, and I've enjoyed it every time I've seen it. Even though, like I said, Costner kind of makes me cringe a little, but he was okay. And but I still think it's a good movie. And like I said, I love Morgan Freeman as his Moorish companion, and Alan Rickman, not Richmond, Alan Rickman as the sheriff of Nottingham, being more of almost a cult type character, and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio as yet another feisty Maid Marian, and I thought she was really good, and she her English accent I thought was really good. And I thought, come on, Kevin, try harder. And I know this was a passion project for him. I know he really wanted to do this movie. And I think part of the problem is that he had a falling out with the director, uh, and took over the production himself. So, but other than that, the action scenes are good, uh, and which you always hope for. You want good action scenes in the movie. So
In a Robin Hood movie, it's nice. Yeah.
yeah, so that's my number three.
We will talk more about this at the end of the show.
Okay.
um, just to warn you. My number three is another Disney Robin Hood film, the animated Disney Robin Hood film, with Robin Hood being a little fox, played by Brian Bedford. And it's also got Phil Harris, it's got Terry Thomas, it's got Peter Ustinov, it's got a great voice cast. And it's a delightful, kids version of Robin Hood. Again, all the characters are animals, but you get the story of Robin Hood in jolly old England. So it's a lot of fun, and the music is good. There are other Robin Hoods that tried to be musical, and they failed miserably. But this one actually has some good music in it. So yeah, that one's definitely a delightful, fun watch. It's not a long watch. It's I think under an hour and a half. And yeah, I mean, just to hear Peter Ustinov as Prince John is worth the price of admission for me, because he's wonderful, and he's not a ferocious looking lion. He's just kind of a thin, scrawny, weak lion who sucks his thumb, mummy. And then you've got Terry Thomas as the snake, who is his, I guess,
like advisor.
Yeah, it's kind of his advisor. There we
go.
Yeah. Alzheimer's, terrible thing. Terrible getting old. And
you're younger than me, which is kind of sad.
And yeah, and Phil Harris is Little John.
Yeah.
Always fun to have little, Phil Harris played big characters in the Disney movies.
Oh yeah.
He's done like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a delightful take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Very lighthearted.
Yeah.
Number 4.
All right. Well, number 4 is a movie that that I've mentioned previously in another program, and I know you're gonna have a lot to say about this one. and it's Robin and Marion with Sean Connery and
Yeah, we've discussed this movie.
Audrey Hepburn.
I can't remember if it was on the Sean Connery show or the Hepburn show, but we've
It was
discussed.
it was on the Hepburn show.
Yeah,
But I really like this movie.
I found it to be depressing. It's just like, oh, they're old now. They don't really have anything to look forward to in their life, and they're just kind of retiring.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of why I like it, I think. And you mentioned earlier, about having different takes on the story, and I thought this was a very different take, where you don't see Robin as this young man, full of vim and vigor, and he's protecting the poor and robbing from the rich, and he does some of that, but this is the man whose whose best days are behind him, but
Yeah.
he's still got a little bit of something left in him, and of course I love Audrey Hepburn, and I loved her as Maid Marian, who you see as a starts off, she's in a convent, but eventually sort of leaves and decides to go off with Robin, and Robert Shaw as the sheriff of Nottingham. He's always so good. I mean, yeah, it's not a triumphant movie, certainly. It's much more.
I
What I
will
would
say
call
it's not the worst Robin Hood movie.
No. It is elegiac.
The
It is sort of,
performances are very well played.
yeah, and I love Nicole Williamson as Robin's friend, and his steadfast, joining him on his adventures.
He's Little John.
Yeah, playing Little John,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, I just like this movie. I think it's a very good movie. It's not particularly fast paced. I mean, it is a very 70s movie.
Talk about how you like
and
action
they took their
films,
time. So
action in your Robin Hood movies, and that's what was lacking for me in that.
I do, but
This is a different take.
But this one, like I said, it's a different take. Yeah, I mean, it still has action in it. It's not as action heavy as some of the other movies that we talked about, but that wasn't the point of the movie. So, and I appreciated that, and I was okay with it.
I'm not like that anymore.
Exactly. So anyway, so that's my number 4.
My number 4 was Robin Hood 2010 with Russell Crowe.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's Robin Hood and Gladiator mixed together.
Yeah.
Very large scope.
Mm-hmm.
Again, great costumes, great look, good cast.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can't go wrong with that one.
Yeah. And
that's my number 4.
Yeah, and I love Kate Blanchett, both as an actress and as a person. I know she's married, but yeah, I thought she was a great Maid Marian. Very feisty and take charge. Max von Sydow as her, I guess, father-in-law, I think. Also very good, and Mark Strong is just, he's just an awesome villain. So if you haven't seen this version of Robin Hood, we both highly recommend it. So, all right. So, number 5 on my list is the Walt Disney cartoon version of Robin Hood. Also, for a lot of the same reasons. I love the animation. Now, the animation, you could kind of see that they were in a transitional period. It wasn't quite as sharp and as detailed as some of their earlier films. In fact, they used a lot of the
Cats and Jungle Book.
Yeah, they
both starring
they used a lot of Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's still, yeah, like you said, Rory, it's a great version of Robin Hood. Much more
A great version
obviously a
of
kid.
kids and kids at
It's
heart.
exactly it was made kid friendly, so kids can see this movie, and yeah, uh, another great Marion. Uh, I think I actually like these movies for the Marion more than for the Robin Hood. But anyway, yeah,
She is a good Maid Marian. I
yeah,
can't remember the actress who played her or did the voice for her, but
it's
she's a fox.
literally. So yeah,
But yeah, she's adorable.
yeah. All right. So what was your number five? Or did you
My
say?
number five, at the year that Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves came out, which was 1991,
Mhm.
another version of Robin Hood was basically thrown out there, and unfortunately, because it was up against Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which was a big studio, production with a lot of money and a lot of money went into actors, and it was kind of overlooked. And it's actually a pretty good telling of. A, Here's the thing: a lot of characters in this are original characters. I mean, you do get Little John, you get Robin Hood, but you also get some other characters in it. It's Robin Hood in 1991, with Patrick Bergen playing Robin
Okay.
Hood. But it also has Edward Fox as Prince John, and he's really nasty in it. Jürgen Prochnow, who is just
Mm.
hot off of Das Boot, played the villain in the movie, which was his name was Falconade. Falconade, and he's good. We also get Jerome Crabb from The Living Daylights.
Mhm.
Was also in it. Uma Thurman is Maid Marian in
Mm.
it. Um, and she's a feisty Maid Marian.
Mhm.
Again, she tries to be kind of feminist Maid Marian, but she's real nice to look at. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, it's got a really good cast. It's got a really good look. I mean, they really look authentic. The costumes and the sets and everything. Although it's not on the same scope as Prince of Thieves, which I just felt like was a lot of wasted money. But anyway, I'm sorry. I know that's one of your faves, but it's my dishonorable mention. That's one of them.
Okay.
That Robin Marion. Um, so this one actually should have won the contest, but it didn't because it was
Yeah.
just powered by, you know,
Yeah. Well, the thing
big
about that one,
executives.
yeah. Well, actually, the thing about that one, it was, and why it doesn't quite have the lush look of Prince of Thieves is it's originally a TV movie made in England
Yeah.
that they released theatrically. So they didn't really have the budget.
Hmm.
But yeah, you're right. It's a good Robin Hood story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I To be honest, I kind of forgotten about it, so I didn't watch it again. And I feel like I should have because I love Uma Thurman, and I remember that she played Maid Marian, so I should have checked it out again.
And you like your
Uh,
Maid Marians.
and I like my Maid Marians, yeah, and all
Uh-huh.
these other. I mean, oh my God, Edward Fox, Jürgen Prochnow, terrific actor. Uh, I
He
mean,
plays a
yeah,
good baddie. He
great,
does.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So good choice. Okay,
So that's my number five.
cool.
So we come now to the oddballs, the the uh, Robin Hoods that dared to be different on our honorable mention list.
Okay.
Because I think going over our choices from 1 through 5, we did pick the most, I think, the truest to the original story versions. You know, we
Mhm.
didn't pick anything that was really out there, except for maybe the Disney animated film, you know, because it's animals and not people.
Yeah,
But other than that, I mean,
but it
it's a
follows the
great
story.
telling
Yeah,
of the stories, though.
yeah.
So that's interesting that we picked such traditional fare. Um,
Mm,
and again, we mentioned Robin Hood 1922 with Douglas Fairbanks, which was again probably the first one,
yeah.
and 2 hour and 12 minute silent film. That's a lot of organ playing. That's some bloody fingers there. Uh,
Yeah, that was not common back then. Yeah.
There he goes. He's climbing the building. He's swinging from tree to tree.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So yeah, that one's definitely got to be on the honorable mentions list. It's worth a note.
Yeah.
And go ahead and tell us a couple of your honorable mentions.
Okay. So one of my honorable mentions, one of the oddballs, as you called it, is Robin and the Seven Hoods.
That's next on my list.
With you know, it's a Rat Pack movie, basically.
It's a Rat Pack movie, and my
It's
God, the
it's
songs.
it's Ocean's 11, but as a Robin Hood movie.
It's like
Sort
Guys
of.
and Dolls Robin Hood.
It's Guys and Dolls Robin Hood. Yeah,
But the
exactly.
songs aren't as good as Guys and Dolls.
Yeah, and I think this
Wow.
is why it's not as
I
revered.
think the only one that's the only song I was able to stomach the whole song was Bang Bang, which was the gun song that Shammy does in the movie. Oh man. Um, and Bing Crosby is kind of, I don't know, they're kind of steering him around and walking him around throughout the movie. And I felt sorry for him, kind of. Yeah, it is definitely a different take on Robin Hood.
Yeah. So that's one of my
But it deserves
oddballs.
mention.
Yeah, and of course we got to mention Robin Hood Men in Tights, the Mel Brooks movie, which very obviously keyed off of the Errol Flynn version with in the costuming and the whole Men in Tights joke.
Yeah,
but it was also kind of poking fun at Prince of Thieves, which is why Carrie Elways has that one kind of line where he says, "Well, at least unlike some Robin Hoods, I have an authentic English accent." So,
uh, um, what's funny is Brooks tried to do a TV show about Robin Hood called When Things Were Rotten.
things were rotten.
And
Yeah, and this is
it had Dick
amazing.
Gaudier as
Yeah.
Robin Hood, and it had a funny cast in it. Dick Van Patten was Friar Tuck. Richard Dimitri, who I love, I think is fantastic, really funny. Played two characters. He played twin brothers, one which was in Robin's gang, and one which is in the castle with John and the sheriff of Nottingham. But the jokes just didn't kind of hit. I don't even think it lasted a half a. I think it was like a half a season, and then they pulled it. The jokes just didn't hit the way Mel Brooks jokes usually hit. You know, like in Spaceballs and Young Frankenstein, and they even tried to do a Blazing Saddles TV show called Black Bart.
Mm-hmm.
with Lou Gossett Jr. as Bart.
Yeah.
And that one died a miserable death. They only shot a couple of episodes of that. I mean, I don't even think it made it a half season. I think it was like 6 or 7 episodes, and then they just went, "Nah, we're taking this. We're getting rid of this now."
Really? I thought it didn't get past the pilot stage.
It was pretty bad.
I remember when things were rotten, and then it came and went, and you're right. The jokes, I mean, some of them were so obvious, and it was almost like
they were trying too hard.
Yeah, they were just trying too hard, and some of it was kind of the visual type stuff. But a good cast. But it didn't quite
Yeah,
hit.
I think Nina Wayne was Marion in that. When she, oh man, talk about a good looking Marion. Yeah. So, but anyway, Robin Hood Men in Tights succeeded in the movie theater where When Things Were Rotten didn't make it, didn't cut the muster. So yeah, you're talking Carrie Elways. That was early Dave Chappelle too, wasn't it?
Early Dave Chappelle, yeah.
Yeah. That was his stepping stone to stardom. And I remember Mark Blankfield being in it from Fridays. Great full actor.
Yeah.
Back in the day when there was Bruce Mahler and Michael Richards and Renee, help me out here. Who's the guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Larry David.
Larry David was
right. He was on Fridays. Yeah, he had the big.
He was on Fridays as well.
That was a great show. It was a great show.
And he does a great Bernie Sanders. So yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights is a fun movie. Yeah, and they do a song or two in that, and it's funny.
Yeah,
it's that you realize it's comedy and it's supposed to be
funny.
Oh
yeah, yeah.
Okay, any other honorable mentions?
Yeah, a couple. There's a more recent Robin Hood with Taron Egerton, who played Elton John, and he was in The Kingsman, called Robin Hood. It was from 2018. It was okay. It had all the requisite action, and but it was okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. And of course, we talked about Douglas Fairbanks, 1922. And there was another one called A Challenge for Robin Hood.
Yes, I was trying desperately to get that one to watch, and unfortunately it didn't happen.
Yeah,
and, it got favorable reviews.
Yeah, it's actually it's a pretty good one.
That was in the 60s, right?
That was 60s.
It's like a Hammer film.
It was exactly. It was a Hammer film. It was Hammer's version of Robin Hood, and you can tell
it's disgusting, mate. No,
yeah,
kidding.
No, they put some money in it, but
Pinewood Studios,
yeah. But for me, it was a remake of the Errol Flynn movie. Had a lot of the same story beats, a lot of the same. I think it even looked like they had the same castle set. So
yeah, let's use that castle.
Yeah, but
how about a castle?
If you're in the mood for a Robin Hood movie, yeah, it's not a bad one.
Challenge for Robin Hood, yeah. I thought the title was kind of strange, but
yeah. What are some of your other ones?
Speaking of titles that don't kind of match up with what you're trying to present, there was a train wreck of a movie in the 50s called Son of Robin Hood. And I put a question mark. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen this?
No, I hadn't seen this one.
Okay. Back in the day, David Hedison was going by the name Al Hedison. And he was Al Hedison. It was right after The Fly when he got success from The Fly. And you're thinking, oh, he's going to be the son of Robin Hood. And it's not. He's not. He's a character named Jamie Derval. And he's the one that does all the swashbuckling in the film, but the offspring of Robin Hood is a daughter. So it makes no sense to call it the son of Robin Hood when a daughter shows up. And it's like, no, she's Maid Marian. What are you talking about? No. And it's just a mess. It's just terrible. A lot of great, British character actors doing their thing. And and Hedison is good in it in his character, but he should have been the son of Robin Hood. They should have just gave you a straightforward son of Robin Hood. Okay, this is the son of Robin Hood, and this will bring back our, you know, our spirit, you know, having the son of Robin Hood. They even have dialogue like that throughout the beginning of the film. You know, when they're talking about meeting the son of Robin Hood. He's on his way. We're going to meet him at the port, and this will bring back the spirit of everybody who misses Robin Hood. He's got the blood of Robin Hood in his veins, and then it turns out to be a girl.
Wait a minute.
and David Hedison shows up, and he's all swashbuckling and everything before the girl shows up. So it's like, oh, okay, he's going to be the. Hey, why? Why even go there? Why even confuse us like that? So yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even watch till the end. It was just that bad. And they're trying really, really hard to kind of match the action from films, you know, earlier swashbuckling films, and it's just like you're very aware of it. So Hedison went on to do
bigger and better things.
Voyage to the Bottom
of the Sea. Yeah.
The studio made him change his name to his middle name, David Hedison, which he resented his entire life. He
Really?
was very upset that the studio made him do that.
Oh.
And then he went on to play Felix Leiter in Live and Let Die because he was good friends with Roger Moore, and they became friends. And he's the only guy to play Felix Leiter with two different Bonds.
Right.
He also came back for License to Kill to play Leiter again with T. Dalton.
And almost gets eaten by a shark.
Yes, he disagreed with something that ate him. Which is right out of that is actually from Live and Let Die, the book. Felix Leiter gets thrown to the sharks, and again they wrap him up in a tarp, what's left of him, and that actually happened in Live and Let Die, which was one of the early Bond books. There was Casino Royale, and there was like maybe one or two others, and then Live and Let Die. It was one of the early ones, and yeah. And they threw that because they didn't do it in Live and Let Die. They threw it in License to Kill.
Okay. Interesting.
So, yeah, Son of Robin Hood is just a mess.
Sounds
it almost made my dishonorable mention list.
Yeah. So your dishonorable mention list must be really, really bad if that didn't make it.
Well, we've talked about my dishonorable mention list.
I know. Even though one of them is.
Yeah, Prince of Thieves is just to me it's just a disaster. I mean, it's okay, we're going to create a new character that makes no sense whatsoever just so we can put Morgan Freeman in it. Okay. You don't have a British accent. You're not even trying to do a British accent. Oh, everybody else is doing it. And Alan Rickman is so over the top. We're canceling Christmas. Just oh my god, I cringed the whole darn thing. I remember I was in the movie theater. I was working in a movie theater when it came out, and I just cringed through the whole entire thing. And I hated going back to the theater to go watch the theater because I just didn't want to watch it anymore. He just wasn't Robin Hood to me. He just didn't do it for me. And again, all the other, I was aware of all the overacting and all the ridiculous lines and stupid stuff that they were throwing in the film that just didn't make any sense. It's like, this is not part of the story. What the hell are you doing? So again, it just didn't work for me. And Robin and Marion was just kind of depressing. It was kind of a downer for me. There is one other movie I wanted to talk about though. If you haven't talked about all the ones you want to talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
You're done.
I'm done. Okay. Go ahead.
As I was doing some research last night, I stumbled across a hidden. Oh, I would expect it's a gem, but in the fact that it's incredibly bad, it's one of those bad cinema versions of Robin Hood. Okay, so here we have Robin Hood and his merry men are killed, are slain in this film, and they become ghosts. Robin Hood and the Ghost. Robin Hood Ghosts of Sherwood Forest is the name of it, and basically what it is it's a Robin Hood zombie film, where the Robin Hood and the Merry Men, they try to bring them back from the dead. They're haunting the Sherwood Forest. They try to bring them back from the dead with horrific results. They become zombies. So in this movie, the first thing I saw was Kane Hodder, who plays Jason in a lot of the Friday the 13th films. Kane Hodder probably played more than anybody. He's Little John in the film. And the Sheriff of Nottingham is played by Tom Savini, who's the great special effects makeup guy who loved to act. So he's like Sex Machine in Dust to Dawn.
Right.
He's also in Planet Terror as a character. He loves to act. He loves it more than doing the makeup stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, he got to play the but this is a German film. They went to Germany and made this film, and they shot it in German, and later it was redubbed for English release. And it sounds like German actors trying to do English accents. I was not able to find a copy of it to watch, unfortunately. I just watched like the trailer, and I just read a lot about it, about how it came about, that kind of thing. And again, it's real ultra low budget, very ultra low budget German production of Robin Hood. And again, it's got zombies. So it's worth looking into, because I got a feeling it's a hot mess, terrible, so much that you'll be
I have got to look for this movie now.
Yes, so much that you'll
actually, actually, I think, because I usually scan Tubi for my movies, just to see. There's some free ones. Right. And I think I may have seen it on there. I know there's at least 2 or 3 like really low budget.
I want to see it.
Made for TV.
Just haven't had a chance to find it yet.
So,
but it just has all the makings of what I love for all the wrong reasons.
Oh my god! A zombie Robin Hood
is awesome. It's just zombies dressed up like Robin Hood characters.
German zombie Robin Hood movie. I'm sold.
I'm on board.
I'm on board. Yeah.
So that, I'm thinking, is the hidden gem of this episode. Everybody watches this is gonna look up Robin Hood Ghosts of Sherwood Forest.
Yes. Yeah.
Or I think it's just Ghosts of Sherwood. So Claude Oliver Rudolph, who I think, if I'm correct, I think is in a James Bond movie. He plays one of the Russian guys in World Is Not Enough. And he plays Robin Hood in it.
Okay.
German actor. So yeah, I have to find it.
Yeah, we definitely have to find this. We'd have to find this. We'll look it up and report back later.
All right. So what are we doing next week, sir?
All right. So next week we are going to talk about a very controversial, maybe possibly divisive actress who is also the daughter of one of the most beloved actors of the golden era. I think you know who I'm talking about. We're going to be delving into Jane Fonda.
Oh, okay.
So that should be interesting.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, she's done some really good movies.
She's
some
a
not
good
so good
actress.
movies. She's a good actress. So
she's a wonderful actress. She's done a lot of good stuff.
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm saying this right now. Cat Ballou. But anyways, yeah, I absolutely love her. I am extremely excited, guys. Let me tell you, I'm going to be all over this.
Not Barbarella?
Well, here's the thing. I've only seen pieces of Barbarella. I'm going to watch that this week because I've always been wanting to watch it in full. I'm going to do it. People call me Barbarella, so I got to figure out why. I got to figure out the full story behind that. I know the basic premise, and I love it. So yes, I'm going to do.
Every time I try to watch Barbarella, and I usually can't watch the whole thing.
Can't get past the credits.
Every time I see something, I think, what was Hank Fonda thinking when he saw this? Hank Fonda.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's naked a lot in it, right? Is that the thing? Is that
Uh,
basically what it is?
Scantily clad. movie.
Scantily
Okay.
clad, yeah. I mean, they do a
Yeah.
lot of tricky, camera
Yeah.
work and stuff to get around the
There's a
nudity.
couple of nude scenes, but not full. I mean, right off the bat, right the credit sequence.
We
Yeah.
recently watched the documentary. I don't know if it was on Netflix or whatever, but the Fonda one, and they talked a lot about Barbarella, and I thought I need to see the full from beginning to end. I got to see the whole thing. So. But she's great, yeah, and
Yeah.
just everything about her bio is so fascinating to me. And I've seen a bunch of her interviews recently. She's done some press tours in the last couple of years. Just fascinating stuff. I mean, she is still on top of her game, and I think she's in her 80s, but she's, I mean, she's got more vim and vigor than I have. So I'll tell you, but I'm excited. Thank you, Manny. Thank you. So next week, that's great. And then Rory, what's on the docket for tomorrow and Thursday?
Tomorrow, we have Roland Pruitt's Kaiju Review is finally going to return with Godzilla Returns. Godzilla's back, says Roland. So season 2 starts tomorrow with Godzilla Returns. And Thursday, we're doing the Bond show where I will show off my relic cards, which are pieces of set, pieces of documents, pieces of costume, all from different Bond movies, on up through Die Another Day. Or, I'm sorry, Spectre. I don't think I have anything for Die Another Day yet, but we're working on it.
Awesome.
So from Dr. No, I actually have something from Dr. No, a relic, all the way up through Spectre, which I have several costume piece swatches and stuff.
Nice.
And cards. They're all presented in cards by Upper Deck and Rittenhouse, mostly. And should be interesting.
Yeah.
That's Thursday.
Cool. All right. Well, as always, if you missed any of our live shows, they're all archived on YouTube. You can just click the link below. Click the link below. Please subscribe to the channel. Give us a like. Give us a nod. Put some comments down there. Tell us how we're doing. And so, until next week, when we're going to dive into Jane Fonda and all of her shenanigans, I bid you adieu. Thanks for watching this episode of Two Guys and Sometimes a Gal Talking About Movies. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to get future episodes.